Hi again, folks. Welcome to the Celtic Forever podcast. Xander here to go through everything Celtic. We've got John with me also. We'll talk about all the signings that came in on transfer deadline day. We'll go through all that. Latest news. Big build up to the Aberdeen game as well on Wednesday night. We'll go through that. The predictor, correct scores, everything else, prizes. We'll go through the lot. Let's say hello to John. How are you, John?
Aye, all right, Xander. Aye, I'm happy with the transfer activity, are you?
Well, you know, Celtic fans everywhere are not happy, not a penny spent. You know, more loans than TSB, John. It's, you know, every player we got in January was a loan signing. We even had one or two loan signings and in the summer as well, John. So you can understand why the supporters who pay the hard-earned cash are not happy with the lack of, you know, permanent signings into the club. But, you know, at the same time, in the same breath, you've got to look at it. You know, we've strengthened that forward position, strengthened the defensive position as well. Another winger also, John. So, you know, it does give the manager a wee bit more depth, I suppose.
I don't know anything about these players. None of them. I know we're linked with Chamberlain coming to Celtic. I know about him. He's a decent player. But like, I can see both sides of the coin. Mark Minill's not going to be here next season. So why would the board give him funds to make players permanent? It's not really an excuse. They should still be looking at bringing in quality players for Celtic. But you've got a manager that's in charge that's going to be... He's only there for a few months and then he's away again. So I think Martin's bringing in players that he thinks maybe suits his system. I don't know all the ins and outs of this, but it does give us a wee bit more depth into the squad. That's the only way I can look at it. Arne Engels was kept. We could have got 25 million for him, apparently. Personally, I would have bit their hand off for that, Xander. He'd have been off if it was me in charge.
Yeah, but it would have left us really short in midfield. It was too late to sign anybody on a permanent deal come, you know, the last day of the transfer window, John. Everything was rushed, wasn't it? So, yeah, but he's still there, as you say, John. He's still a Celtic player for the time being. Apparently wasn't happy with the way the whole thing was handled. But when is Engels ever happy? He's always got that sort of a grim look on his face, isn't he? All right, John, that's it then, John. We'll go through everybody that's came in a wee minute. I just wanted to quickly mention the competition. Correct score competition for the Falkirk game first, before we go into anything else. John got it right, John, so well done to you. Mad About Football also got it right, well done to him. And James Doran also got it right. So that's you now clear at the top of the table now, John. Congratulations. That's you clear at the top. Collins in second with 15. And Mad About Football and James also move up the table a wee bit with their 3 points there. So well done to all three of you. This week's competition, the Aberdeen game, get your guess in for that. Aberdeen against Celtic at Pittodrie on Wednesday night. Looking forward to that one, actually. Now we've got all these bodies in the door. But anyway, get your guess in for that, for the prize at the end of the season if you're sitting top of the league table there on your left-hand side. And a warm welcome to a new gentleman into the competition, John. He wanted to join a wee bit later, but I don't mind that. If you don't mind playing catch-up, that's fine. It's Gallagher, 1967, is into the league table, and he's already put in a guess for the Falkirk game. He got that wrong, and I've given a couple of free guesses as well to try and catch up. But it's just an extra name onto the board where we can take one of these guys off that have not put in many guesses into the league table. So congratulations, well done to him joining the league table, and welcome as well. Right, John, let's get into it then. Let's get into everything that's been going on, John. A very busy deadline day. Wasn't it 5 in January, John? It was 5 loan signings, as I said earlier, in January. Quickly run through them, right, John? And Junior Adamu from Freiburg on loan with an option to buy at 3.4 million. Joe Mvuka, I think you pronounce this boy, Mvuka, the winger from Lorient. He's also on loan with a £3 million option to buy. Benjamin Arthur, the centre-back from Brentford's on loan at the end of the season. Don't think there's an option to buy there. And, of course, Chivantara also came in a couple of weeks ago, John, the striker from Mönchengladbach, on loan to the end of the season with an option to buy at 7 million. And, of course, earlier on in the month, we signed Arajo, the right back from Bournemouth, to the end of the season. So what do you think of that, John? 5 signings in the door. As you said, it's a bit of extra blood into the team. Gives us a stronger bench as well, I suppose.
That's what it all comes down to, isn't it? A stronger bench at the end of the day, because the bench is lacking in real quality. Well, I don't know if these boys are quality. I don't know anything about any of them. Obviously, we've had a good look at Araho or Arijo, however you want to pronounce that guy's name. We've had a good look at him. He's half decent. I like him. No seen much of Vanchara. No seen much of him, but he's bagged himself a goal. We set up a goal as well. He's an assist and a goal. Looks half decent. Too early to say. The other ones, I had a wee look at the compilation clips. I never go by compilation clips, as you know, because everybody looks like Lionel Messi on a compilation clip. I mean, you could pick any player and pick their best moments to look like Lionel Messi's under. That's just a fact. By the way, Roseanne got the competition right as well. You forgot to mention Roseanne.
Oh, did she? Right, okay. Yeah, there's quite a few in there, which was very good, because it's been a up and down season for that. Also, John Mvuka, Joe Mvuka, the winger from Lorient. There was a medical issue with him, wasn't there? We were supposed to be signing him for the £3 million, and there was a medical issue, so we've got him on loan until the end of the season because of this medical issue. Remember the last medical issue we had? It was Big John Hartson. So if he's half the success that Big Hartson was, John, it'll be an absolute legend at Celtic. But yeah, that was going to be our one and only permanent transfer, John. And then there was a medical issue. Did you hear that one?
I did. Apparently, it was something to do with his heart or something like that. Right. I don't know if there's any truth in that, but apparently that was the reason. It was something to do with his heart. Look, maybe his heart was racing because he was anxious or something. You don't know, you know what I mean? Yeah. It could be something simple like that. Big move to a big club like Celtic. Maybe the boy was nervous. Maybe he's had a wee heart thing since birth. I really don't know, but apparently that was the reason for that.
Right, okay, thanks for that, John. I didn't know that. And of course, Arnie Engels, Nottingham Forest bid for, well, the three bids went there, but the last one was 25 million. Last night was a busy night for me, John, making the videos. You know, it was really a bit stressful, actually. You know, every time I checked after 9 o'clock last night, there was another player signed, so I was trying to do a bit of catch up, but I got them out there. But Arnie Engels, son, he does stay at the club probably until the summer. Then the bid will probably come in again for him, because they seem very keen, Nottingham Forest, on signing Arnie Engels. 25 million, over double what we paid for the man. But no, John, Celtic stuck to their guns. We've got him until the end of the season.
I was going to say, I hope it doesn't affect his performance, but his performances are rank rotten. So, wouldn't it? I mean, I really don't know what these managers see in Arnie Engels. You know my feelings on Arnie Engels. He does some good things, don't get me wrong. He takes a good corner kick. But for me, it takes a good penalty as well. But for me, he hides in the games too much. You can see wee flashes of quality, but you just don't see it consistently enough. It's like we're carrying him when we're playing, Sander, to be honest with you. Me personally, this is my personal feelings. I don't rate the boy. Sorry, but I don't.
Yeah, that's entirely up to you, John. Not many people do. He's up, he's down. And by the way, his corners are getting worse as well, by the way. So I prefer Tierney on the corners, to be honest with you. He whips them in with pace and power. And we've scored a few from Kieran Tierney corners, so I prefer him on the corners anyway. Anyway, that's another story for another day. Johnny Kenny on loan at Bolton, John. Well, you missed Johnny Kenny?
Aye. Johnny Kenny, when Martin O'Neill took over and his first term in charge, he seemed to get a lot out of Johnny Kenny. He was playing well, was scoring the goals against the Rangers and all that stuff. He was doing really well, and then Martin O'Neill left, and he seemed to get right into his shell again. Couldn't hit a barn door, missing sitter after sitter after sitter. I think the best thing for him is a loan move. Maybe he'll come back a better player. He never the last time really, did he? No.
I think he's done, to be honest with you. The chances he missed for Celtic when we were struggling, that was a big part of why we were struggling, John. There was clear-cut chances against Rangers. There was clear-cut chances in Europe. There was clear-cut chances in many, many games the boy started. He did get a chance, John. You can't say he didn't get a chance. And he missed various... and he is only a young lad. We've got to bear that in mind as well. But if you're going to make it at Celtic, Charlie Nicholas was a young lad, Frank McAvenny was a young lad, John. All these guys were, young lads at one time, but they made it, John, and they scored for Celtic. So Johnny Kenny had his chance. I think the biggest thing he done at Celtic was score that goal in the semi-final against the Rangers, John, wasn't it?
Probably. I mean, when you get a chance at Celtic, you've got to take it with both hands. You've got to go out there and give 100%. And missing sitters from 4 yards out with nothing to beat, that's not going to cut it at Celtic. You know what I mean? You cannot miss chances like the ones that he missed. Open goals and all that, he was hitting them out of the bar and stuff. He's just no good enough for Celtic. That's the truth of it.
Yeah, okay, he's on loan anyway. We'll see what kind of player he comes back to Celtic in the summer. We'll see what happens there, John. And of course, you mentioned it at the start of the podcast, John. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain interest still from Celtic because he's a free agent, so we can sign free agents still. Don't know about how fit this boy is. I don't know. I know he's 32-year-old. I know he was a great player, obviously. So if Celtic are interested, if Martin's interested in this boy, he must still be able to do something on the park.
He must be. I don't know much about the guy. I've heard of him. I've seen him a couple of times. Half-decent player. Very good player.
Yeah.
So we'll wait and see if anything comes of that. If it materialises, I would welcome it. We need a bit of experience at Celtic, I think. The guy's got massive experience, so it would be a welcome addition. I'm sure Martin O'Neill would soon whip him into shape.
Yeah, that's it, John. We'll wait and see. We'll see what happens over the next few days. If indeed that is something that we're interested in, we'll wait and see. And finally, John, of course, we've now got 3 strikers to choose from. Iheanacho, Chimchara, or Quinchara, whatever you want to pronounce this boy's name. I think it's Chimchara. And Adamu, John, up front, the new loan signing. So 3 to pick from there. Junior Adamu, I don't know much about him. John Quinchara looks like a very decent player, and then Iheanacho's just still trying to catch up with his fitness after a long-term injury, and that means we can also put Dyson back out on the wing, gives us more options out on the wing as well, John. So it does give us that wee bit more choice, if you like, for the manager. More winger choices and more striker choices.
Well, this is it. And I'm not getting excited about any of these players that signed. We'll wait and see what they're like playing for Celtic before I make a decision. I mean, I can watch as many compilation clips that there is out there. I still won't make an opinion until I see them in the flesh playing for Glasgow Celtic, and that's we'll find out tomorrow night, hopefully.
Yeah, we're getting to the Aberdeen game, the preview of that in about 5 minutes, folks. But I just wanted to run through some stuff, as regards to these signings, John, that came in. I just want to have a quick look at the wages some of these boys are going to be on. And these are obviously estimates, John. These are not accurate. Nobody knows exactly what these boys are on. But I wanted to run through the top earners and then through to the lowest earners, John. So listen to this just for a wee minute or two, right? Kieran Tierney, 50,000 a week. Callum McGregor, 39,000 a week. Carter Vickers, 37 a week. Jota, 37 a week. Iheanacho, 35 a week. Quinchara, 32,000 a week. He's on loan, and those wages are not split. Apparently, Celtic are paying the lot. Arajo, 40,000 a week. The wages are split, so Celtic are paying 20,000 a week for Arajo. Adamu, his wages are not disclosed, so undisclosed wage for him. Sorry, and Mvuka, they're estimating he's on £13,000 a week for the new boy on loan. Mvuka, the winger, John. A wee quick look at Engels, who was due to leave. I didn't realise he was on such low wages, Arne Engels, considering his big fee to Celtic. Arne Engels on between £15,000 to £20,000 a week. And then you've got the lower part of the spectrum, your Dane Murrays, your Donovans, John, all your younger lads on £1,000 a week. So what do you think of these stats?
It's big money, isn't it? It is big money. And a lot of these players that are on big wages, they don't look like they're worth that kind of wage right now. I mean, last season, of course, give them every penny they deserve, but this season they're getting outperformed by teams like Falkirk. That's no good enough.
No, and obviously Celtic broke the wage structure, didn't they, John, by bringing Tierney and having to put McGregor's wages up, and then Jota and Iheanacho, these kind of guys. The wage structure was smashed because I think we were round about between the 15 and 25 per player, and of course we had to break that. Tradition, if you like, of the lower wage. But there is still ones like your Arnie Engels, John, sitting on your 15 to 20,000. Now, still a lot of money, of course, still a lot of money, but I thought, you can understand why Engels is not happy. Probably got £80,000 a week at Nottingham Forest. So it's all about money, John, isn't it? It's all about money nowadays.
It is. I just don't think Engels is worth that kind of wage anyways. Maybe, I don't know what, honestly, I keep saying it and I'll say it again, I don't know what these managers are seeing in Engels. I haven't seen anything that justifies that £11 move. I still ain't seen nothing that justifies it. Have you?
Not yet, John, not yet. I know he's won a league title, we understand that, but he had quality players surrounding him, more options round about for Arnie Engels and the manager at the time, Brendan Rodgers, John. So, yeah, he's got a title in the bag, and hopefully he's got another title come the end of the season, because he is here to the end of the season. As I said earlier, John, can't even take a corner now. Never beats the first man now. At the start of the season, he was taking penalties and corners, and they were quite good. Now it's Tierney. It's on the corners, isn't it, now and again. All right, John. Paul McComb said in the comments that we should have, sold Engels and bought Matt O'Reilly back, because he's in limbo just now, Matt O'Reilly, isn't he? But you don't really want to go back the way, John, do you? But I would have loved to have saw Matt O'Reilly back at the club, but, it was probably too late in the transfer window by the time Nottingham Forest came in with a bid for Arnie Engels, John. But that would have been a good one, wouldn't it? Engels for Matt O'Reilly. Be a bit of cash to spare.
Matt O'Reilly, I would have taken Matt O'Reilly over Arnie Engels any day of the week. Any day of the week. A battler, a fighter, a guy that scores goals from all over the park. Great range of passing. Just night and days under, I'd a bit of honour for Matt O'Reilly.
Yeah, I know he's been returned to his parent club after being on loan last night, John. So he is in limbo. We could have put in a bid for him if we got the Arnie Engels money, but we didn't, so we need to move on, I suppose, to me. Right, as I say, John, the squad is bolstered, which is good news, but we still have players out injured. I want to give a wee update on the return dates for these boys now. That's if we like to do this every few weeks. Alistair Johnston, he is now early March, so the sooner early March comes, the better for Johnston. Jota out for the season. Vickers out for the season. Osmond out until early March also, John. And of course, Sriracha, he's just returned to full training, so he in fact should be fit for Aberdeen on Wednesday night. So that's your wee update there. Right, the big preview. Let's get to the big preview then. Aberdeen versus Celtic. Aberdeen just off the back of a pretty bad defeat to Kilmarnock, let's be honest, John. 3-0, loss to Kilmarnock, who were a team themselves, on their knees, just beat Aberdeen 3-0. But of course, it's at Pittodrie, John. We always find it, I'm going to say, tough going up there over recent years, but they do make it a bit of a struggle for us until we eventually get that first goal. And hopefully, come Wednesday night, John, we get a nice early goal, relaxes everybody down, and we can hopefully come out of there with all 3 points.
Aye, but this is it, isn't it? I mean, the Celtic team, they look very tired right now. This is the problem I've got with Celtic, with these games in Europe, and then a weekend game, and then another midweek game. There's far too many games. And it worries me challenging for a title with so many games. It's just constant flow of games for these players. And they look dead on their feet against Falkirk. So, going to be up to Pittodrie, which is always, like we say, the day it normally starts off tricky and then we kind of break them down. And the other thing is the Pittodrie pitch wouldn't be in great shakes either. I know the North East was probably getting battered a wee bit. I've seen the state of the pitch at Tannadice for the Hearts game. The pitch was an absolute mess, so I'd imagine Pittodrie's pretty much similar.
Yeah, that's it, John. It's the surface up there, so the weather's been dreadful for about 4 weeks. Up in Aberdeen, round about that area. So, yeah, the pitch will be pretty bad now. You never know, the groundsman might do a decent job for Celtic coming away Wednesday night. Don Robertson, he's the referee for this one, the man in the middle. McFarlane and Drummond are the linesmen, and Grant Irvin, he is on the VAR. So that's your officials for this one. The game is on Sky Sports, 8 o'clock kickoff, and it's also on Celtic TV, John. We don't want any issues with referees in this one, do we? You've got Grant Irvins and Don Robertson, the referee.
Well, you've picked the wrong guys there. If you don't want issues, Don Robertson, probably I'd put him above Beaton when it comes to the worst referees in this country, especially Don Robertson. I would say he's worse than Beaton.
Yeah, he's pretty bad. He's pretty bad, isn't he? And that's who I've got in the middle. You can just see the incidents that are going to happen in this one, can't you, John? You can't hide from the facts. The guy's just another dreadful referee, Don Robertson. But anyway, he is the man in the middle. Let me have a wee quick look at the odds for this one, John. I was going to say Rangers there. I don't know why, but it's no Ibrox. We're going to Pittodrie. It's Aberdeen 5-1. The draw 72 and Celtic 1-2. So I think 5-1 for an Aberdeen team at home is pretty, outside odds. The 5-1 is quite a high price for that. So Aberdeen 17% chance of beating Celtic. Celtic with a 63% chance of beating Aberdeen. So that's your odds for that one, John. I wanted to quickly run through the signings that Aberdeen have made, John. So these guys may be starting for Aberdeen come late tonight. Signings in Dennis Giger, midfielder, and Afiz Arimu, a winger, John. So they've signed a couple there, but they did let quite a few go. I'm just trying to Leighton Clarkson, is it, John? I think he's one of their main players, Leighton Clarkson. They sold him, John. So he is gone, and they've got a few injuries as well. Knoster is a doubt. Who else? Malloy and Tobers are definitely out with knee injuries as well. Knoster, he was stretched off in the Kilmarnock game last week, John. So they've got Clarkson out, Knoster out, Malloy sold, and Tobers sold. So they definitely didn't strengthen, did they, by the sounds of things?
No. I think generally speaking, Aberdeen, they're quite a poor team. They're quite low down in the table and stuff. And they're getting turned over by Kilmarnock. I predicted Kilmarnock would beat them, by the way. I didn't predict the correct score, but I predicted Kilmarnock would beat them. I had a feeling Kilmarnock would beat them. Kilmarnock, a team well off form. And they managed to take points off of Aberdeen, albeit it was on the plastic pitch at Rugby Park. It's always a hard place to go for any team. That. Yeah. By the way, I was looking at Hibs' new player, new striker against the Rangers. The amount of sitters that boy missed. That game should have been about 4-0, Xander, to Hibs. If that boy would have taken these chances, absolute sitters. That's why they're new signings.
Is it? Right. I mean, should have signed Johnny Kenny.
Well, Johnny Kenny would have done a great job there, aye. It's same thing. Could have hit a barn door against the Rangers. Unbelievable. Yeah,
well, that's what I was going to mention as well, John. Actually, the Hibs getting beat by Falkirk, John, 4-1, and then they go and get a good draw against Rangers at Easter Road. It's a similar sort of thing happening here at Pittodrie. Aberdeen getting beat 3-0 by Kilmarnock, and now they're at home to Celtic. So we definitely don't want that scenario happening again, John. We don't want Aberdeen suddenly turning up and getting a draw, or even worse, a win against Celtic.
Look, nothing's impossible. It could happen. We know it can happen. We've seen Aberdeen getting, even when they're off form, getting a result against Celtic in the past. So look, Martin O'Neill will have it well drilled into the players, will accept nothing other than a win. But it's easier said than done. You look at the Celtic players against Falkirk on Sunday there, they look dead on their feet after about half an hour.
Aye. Yeah, I know. It's the good thing about all these boys coming in the last day of the window there, John, is it does maybe give players a chance to rest as well. John, you've got to look at that. Stronger bench, chance for players to rest, and we've got players coming back from injury as well. I know that Alistair Johnson is the start of March, so it's another 4 weeks away before he returns, just under the 4 weeks before he returns. I can't wait till he comes back. And Callum Osmond as well, John. He's due to return at the exact same time. Both players went under the knife, if you like. Both players had operations on their hamstrings, John. So they're going to come back fitter and stronger. So I just can't wait till I've got a full squad to choose from.
This is it. Alistair Johnson coming back that's the best news, is Alistair Johnson coming back. Don't get me wrong, I think Araho, I think he's done really, really well, and I do like him.
Yeah.
But is he better than Alistair Johnson? I don't think so. I think Alistair Johnson probably edges it for me when he's on form. I mean, it's hard to say, isn't it? It's really hard to say. But Callum Osman coming back, I look forward to seeing more of that boy. He was absolute lightning in the cup semi-final against the Rangers.
The Rangers.
The Rangers, aye.
Aye, it was good. So these boys are going to due to return in under 4 weeks, but 4 weeks is a long time, and anything can happen between now and then. I suppose we could pick up more injuries, etc. But you know, we've really missed, especially Alistair Johnson. We've really missed him for practically the whole season. So I just can't wait to get the full squad back up and running. All right, John. By the way, I heard rumours that Martinez was seen with Sean Maloney again in Glasgow. John, maybe that could be our new manager for next season. Just a rumour, of course, but you never know. They did work together with Belgium, didn't they? Martinez and Sean Maloney. So you never know. That could be our new manager for next season. Just thought I'd throw that one in there. Right, starting 11 for Aberdeen, John. Then you can give us a starting 11 for the champions. Aberdeen play a 4-2-3-1. So I'm going to go with Mitov, Devlin, who else? McIntyre, Frame, Nelson, Cameron, Armstrong, Arimu, Keskinen, is it? Yeah, Nesbitt up front, and Madcroft. I don't know if that's a new signing for them or not, John. He's a defender. So that's the starting 11 for Aberdeen for me anyway, John. 4-2-3-1 for Aberdeen. A team off form, John, aren't they? Sitting in the bottom half of the league. Desperate to get to the top half of the table as well, John. But that 3-0 win against Kilmarnock was a bit of a shock for me. 3-0 loss, sorry.
It was a shock, but it wasn't really, because I kind of expected that. Who was the guy you pronounced wrong the last time, but we're laughing at his name? Ushishi, was it? I think you pronounced it. I can't remember what you pronounced it, but we were both laughing at the time.
I remember there's been that many. It could be any one of the lineups that I mentioned.
Ushi, I think you called him Ushi or something like that, Big Ushi. Yeah. I can't remember. But anyway, let's not tempt fate here by.
But that's Modkov. I think that boy's name was Aberdeen Modkov. So yeah, it's hopefully we can put a few past him, the big defender for Aberdeen. No, John, it's you know, they have got some half decent players still in their team. Obviously, Nielsen, good solid player. Frame's okay. Armstrong, he's a wee bit past it, but he's still a decent player. Keskinen, good player. Nesbitt up front, always dangerous as well, John. So they still have a sprinkling of top quality players, Aberdeen.
They've got decent players at Aberdeen, but they're still managerless. This is the thing, isn't it? They're still managerless, and their form has took a dip since Jimmy Thelin left, or sacked, whatever happened to him. So that might go against them, the fact that they don't have a manager and they're up against a guy that's got vast experience, Mark O'Neill. He knows what it takes to win at Pittodrie, so I think Aberdeen will be up against it, as long as the Celtic players have got their fitness okay. But Aberdeen played a game at the weekend as well. I think they've had an extra day's rest, so that will go in their favour. But I just don't like the way Celtic are playing right now. They look knackered against Falkirk. They really did. Unless Falkirk were, you know, I know they're a good team, but they look better on the eye than Celtic at the weekend.
Yeah, you've got to throw into the mix the European games for us, John. We do put a lot of effort into those games, especially the Utrecht game. I think we were on our knees at the end of that one, especially with them scoring nearly out 2 goals. But if it wasn't for that trusty goal, I think we would have struggled. So I think, you know, the players were on their knees, playing a lot of football just now. But of course, they're professional football players, John. That's what they get paid for. The big wages we mentioned earlier on, that's what they get paid for, John. And these extra bodies in the door will alleviate that wee bit of pressure, John. I think you'll see a bit of a more fresher look to Celtic from now on, hopefully.
Well, we'll wait and see. It's look, we've got a few players in the door. We might have another one coming in we'll wait and see what happens there. But it did need freshening up, because you're playing the same players in Europe, and then at the weekend a game, tough away games. Celtic still getting these tough away games, aren't they? Hearts, then Aberdeen and all that stuff. It's never ending, is it?
Yeah, it's very tough, Sean. I know after Aberdeen we do have a wee run of home games there coming up, but you know, it's we need to claw these 6 points back. We need to start seeing Hearts dropping some points. We'll go through a predictor in about 5 minutes, John. But we'll start with the Celtic lineup, John, for you, if you don't mind, if you could run through that for us.
Aye, Kasper Schmeichel, Trusty, Scales, Kieran Tierney and Arajo, or Arajo. Don't know how you pronounce, guys. Say whatever you want. Centre of the park, Callum McGregor, Arnie Engels and what's his name, Nygren. And up front, Dyson Maeda. Kavancha, is it you pronounce his name? I've heard all different pronunciations of this guy's name. I'll just say Kavancha, that sounds good to me. And on the right hand side, Yang.
Yeah, I don't know if you're going to see any of the new boys starting. I think you're right, John. I think you're back.
I don't think so, nah. I don't think you'll see any new ones starting Zander, apart from Kavancha.
Yeah. The only possible one is possibly Yang, but I think he'll start as well, John. I think he'll start. We'll wait and see. We can only guess at this time. And we're getting his predictor now then, John. Let's do that right away. Predictor. I've not added up the weekend one. I don't know if you got any right anyway, but I'll go back and add them up for the weekend. We do it normally weekend to weekend, but we'll do a midweek one as well. Predictor starting with the Celtic game, John. Celtic are going to Pittodrie to face Aberdeen. What do you think?
Just a tough game after playing Falkirk. That was a tough game as well for them. Maybe a wee lift with the new players coming in. I really don't know, but I'll go for 3-1 to Celtic.
Yeah, I mean, a 3-1 would be absolutely tremendous, John. It's, the defence is still a worry for us, isn't it, John? I think we're conceding goals right and left and centre, although we didn't concede any, which was a bonus against Falkirk. Kasper Schmeichel keeping a clean sheet, but he's lost all sorts of goals this season, John. Kasper Schmeichel in goal, but no clean sheet for Kasper against Aberdeen then for you?
No, I think Aberdeen's maybe got a goal in them. I'm saying that I'll stick to 3-1, but because Kasper's, he does concede a lot of goals. I'm surprised there was a clean sheet against Falkirk, to be honest with you, but Kasper did well in that game. So I think it's time we conceded one again.
Yeah. All right, John. I don't know what to go for with this one. I'm going to go for the clean sheet then. I'm going to go with the 2-0 then to Celtic, John. I'll go the 2-0 to the champions. Either way, John, 3-1, 2-0. Who cares? As long as we walk out of Pittodrie on Wednesday night with all 3 points. Because, of course, that brings us on nicely to the predictor, John. Hearts play on Tuesday nights. We're well aware of that. We'll start with that in the predictor, John. St Mirren versus Hearts.
I would normally say it's a tough game. St Mirren's a half-decent team, but St Mirren have been absolute rank rotten recently. I think I'll go for 1 each.
Yeah, I was thinking share of the spoils there, John. I don't know. I do like St Mirren. They're a decent wee team, and they've not, they've put Hearts out of a cup already. They do give Hearts a very tough game. I think a draw sounds about right to me. I don't know. I might push it and go for a St Mirren win here, John, actually. But I take the draw all day long. Any points dropped will be a bonus for us as long as we win our game. I'm going to say 2-1 to St Mirren in that one, John. So, but, Hearts, John, you've got to give them the credit where it is due because they're putting in the performances, they're getting the wins. Although they're carrying a lot of luck, John. You look at the game against Dundee United at the weekend there. There was a wee bit of Buster Keaton going on, I think, definitely, John. Dundee United sent down to 10 men, then Hearts got a penalty. They're definitely the new Rangers, aren't they? And then just to add to the mix, John, Dundee United get another man sent off. So a penalty for Hearts and 2 red cards for Dundee United.
Aye, I turned it off at the sending off for Dundee United, the first one. Never a sending off. An easy mistake for any player to make. Stands on the guy's foot and the guy's got his leg planted in the ground. Yellow card would have sufficed. I've seen worse since worst challenges not getting even a yellow card. I've seen a lot worse. To me, that's not a red card. Maybe a yellow card. He was a bit late. He does stand in the guy's foot. It looks worse than it is, one of the ones. If it happened to a Celtic player, would I be looking for a red card? I'm not really too sure. Possibly a yellow card. There was nothing malicious in it for me, Xander, to be honest with you. So I think the red card was harsh. Of course, Hearts getting all the favours, the new Rangers, like he says. I thought it was harsh, and it was a horrible pitch as well, with an easy pitch to make a mistake on, you know. But there you go. That's what happened. We need to live with it.
Yeah, that's it, John. That's it. The game's gone. They got the 3 points, so they're still sitting at 6 point clear. But of course, Rangers draw the game with Hibs. We close the gap on them and jump above them. Fireworks going off everywhere. Not at all. Not when it's Celtic, John. Second is last to us. Second is party time for the Rangers supporters. It really is. You saw them in the comments everywhere, John, because they jumped into second place on goal difference. It'll be a couple of points, sorry, and Celtic clawed it back on goal difference to jump above them. It's just quite pathetic, actually. But, you know, the dig-outs are definitely being given to Hearts, I think, John. 2 red cards and a penalty, John. Unbelievable. Right, let's move on to the predictor then, John. Dundee against Motherwell Wednesday night.
I'll go for a Motherwell win. 1-0. No. 2-0.
Yeah, they're playing really good, Motherwell, aren't they? I always say Motherwell are playing well. I always say that, but it doesn't sound right. They're playing really good, Motherwell, and I think they're going to win as well, John. 3-1 to Motherwell, because we've got Dundee next as well in the Cup on Saturday.
That'll go for nothing, that. Cup games are always different, aren't they?
Yeah.
But it's a hard game for Celtic against Dundee. Coming to Celtic Park. Big Elvis. I think Dundee beat us the last time we played them, didn't they?
Yeah, they got that result out in Dens Park, didn't they? Oh, what a night that was. Unbelievable. When you look back in these dark days and dark nights, John, it just makes you sick. The Wilfried Nancy era will never be forgotten, as you say. But no, different era, John, different times. Hibs against Dundee United.
I've got to fancy Hibs for this. Dundee United are absolute gash. Honestly, they're garbage. I love Dundee United. I used to like watching them, but they're getting like Celtic now. They just can't buy a win. I'll go for the Hibs to win it. 2-1.
And I'll go with the 1 each in that one. There, another draw for Hibs. 2 games in a row. Livingston against Falkirk.
Oh, it's got to be Falkirk, innit? It's got to be Falkirk. Livingston really struggling to get any kind of result. Draws or wins are really struggling, Livingston. And Falkirk, you could call them the form team until they came to Celtic Park. They can feel hard done by, I think, with that result. Falkirk were excellent on the day at Celtic Park. I'm going to go for Falkirk to turn them over 3-1.
2-1 for me in that particular game, John. Falkirk, Livingston fighting for their life, but they're not good enough, are they? And obviously Martindale, he has been moved upstairs at Livingston. I don't know who the current manager is. They'll probably fling somebody in on a temporary basis. Maybe Martindale away from Livingston, John. Be quick thought there.
I thought he was away last season, and to my surprise, he was back. I don't know where I heard that he was away. But there you go. No, he was still there. I know some people call him a wee blue nose and all that. I like wee Davy Martindale. He's always stuck up for Celtic when the press has been giving him it tight, you know what I mean? He's always, when I've been asked, he's always stuck up for Celtic, always. He's never says a bad word about him. So, no, I like wee Davy Martindale. I like his attitude. He doesn't take any nonsense after the press and all that stuff, especially when it comes to people getting stuck into Celtic. So, no, good luck to the wee guys under whatever he does.
Yeah, well, he's, as you say, John, he's moved upstairs, so he's don't know who the manager is. I was going to have a look at it, but it doesn't matter. I don't really care who it is, to be honest with you. Okay, the Rangers against give me of the day actually. Rangers against Kilmarnock at Ibrox, John.
Don't know. They beat Aberdeen 3-0, didn't they? Maybe go there with a wee bit of belief after that. I really don't know. The Rangers drawn against Hibs, maybe a bit of disbelief in them. I'll go for Rangers to win it 2-0 though.
Yeah, it's going to be a win all day long for Rangers. I'm going to go to 3-0 for the Rangers in that one, John. Okay. Just one more I wanted to add. You've got to keep an eye on this team, just because we've got drawn them in the Europa League, John. I know you don't know anything about both the teams, just a guess. But it's Holstein against Stuttgart on a Wednesday night in the Cup quarter-final.
Oh, I don't know anything about them, like he says. I'll just have a guess. I'll go for a Stuttgart win. 2-1.
Aye, I'll go 2-0 to Stuttgart in that one, John, against the Pilsners, Holstein. That was always going to be said, wasn't it?
Aye, well, that must be where they're from, where the Pilsners made, you know.
Yeah, that's it. It must be, yeah. So we'll keep an eye on Stuttgart anyway, John, because that's going to be a really, really tough game in mid-February for us, flying the flag for Scottish football in Europe again. Okay, John, that wraps it up. There isn't the sort of a feeling that I was hoping I was going to have after the January transfer window, John. There is some bodies in the door, fresh faces, decent players by all accounts, but, no permanent signings. And I sort of see your point as well, John, where it's 50-50 with the board. Do they go giving Martin O'Neill money to splash when there's going to be a new manager in about 3 or 4 months' time? Or do we try and bolster the squad with loan signings? They went with the latter. They went with the loan signings, John. And it's a lot of loan signings. 5 boys in the door on loan. You think about it next season when the new manager comes in. That's potentially 5 or 6 lads returning to their parent club. So it gives the new manager a bit of a headache right away.
It does. But Martin O'Neill, he will be telling the boys, look, you want to make yourself a career here at Celtic, you'll get signed up on a permanent contract if you play your cards right and you turn out great performances for this club. They're looking for players to get the fans off their seats. And if you do that, you earn yourself a contract at a big club like Celtic. So he'll drill that into the players. There's every chance you'll get signed up on a permanent deal if you get the fans off their seat, get the fans singing their names, all that stuff, you know what I mean? But as loan signings, you've got to look at the board. Total lack of ambition to spend any money on the team. It is worrying when you see that. I can't really say any more than that, Xander. The only thing I take out it is the board haven't splashed the cash because Martin O'Neill's not going to be there next season. To me, if that is the case, that's absolute nonsense because a new manager would come in and probably inherit a half-decent team because Martin O'Neill's not going to sign any dummies, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's it. These are all through Martin O'Neill. He's authorised these signings, so John. So, yeah, I know what you're saying. Just in a wee quick look ahead, John, to a week today, because it's a massive midweek fixture card. I know we're jumping ahead a couple of games, but this is the one that sticks out for me, John. This next midweek. It's only 7 days away, remember, it's not that long away, so we can talk about it. Hearts against Hibs at Tynecastle. Then on the Wednesday, Celtic are at home to Livingston, while Rangers are away to Motherwell. Potentially, John, a wee chance there for a slight change, hopefully, John. I'm not taking it for granted with Livingston, of course we're not. But, John, that's a fixture card I'm really looking forward to.
We've talked about this one a few weeks ago, actually, this group of games coming up. Dundee United are at Hibs, aren't they, this week?
Yeah.
So you'll be hoping Hibs get a wee bit of confidence by beating Dundee United, even though I like Dundee United. I'm being selfish and looking after Celtic here. You want Hibs to get a wee bit of confidence going into that Hearts game. That's what you want. So, because Hibs, traditionally at Tynecastle, they've got a very poor record there. So, I'm not looking at that game with any great hope. Other game, Rangers against Motherwell. Motherwell against Rangers. I think that's aye, that's a potential banana skin for the Rangers. So, look, that's a bit away yet, so we can talk about that when we get closer to it, Xander. But potential banana skins all round there. Apart from Celtic, you'd expect Celtic to turn Livingston over at Celtic Park.
Yeah, of course, John. This was the phase that we spoke about, as you said, a couple of weeks ago. We're now entering that phase, and it's an exciting phase. You know, we did mention these home games that we've got coming up. And then the weekend after that, John, I know it's only a few days after that. It's just over a week away. Rangers play Hearts. So again, it's very, very exciting and interesting times, John. We just want Martin O'Neill to get the best at the players, especially with this, you know, the business end of the season, shall we say. I know there's still 14 odd games to go, John, but this is a phase in the season where I want to see Celtic, you know, turning up the heat a wee bit.
Oh, they need to turn the heat up. It's hard. It's easier said than done when you've got so many games getting played for Celtic. But the performances have got to improve. They really have got to improve. I was watching that game against Falkirk and I was thinking, this is going to go wrong. They were standing off their players. There were big gaps in the defence. It was horrible to watch. But in traditional Martin O'Neill style, he gets the win over the line by hook or by crook. We got the win over the line. 2 nice goals from Vanshara and a stunner from Nygren yet again.
Yeah,
we got it over the line without performing well, but I want to see Celtic dominating these games. Easier said than done when you're up against a team like Falkirk, who are absolutely flying in confidence. But they're coming to Celtic Park, they should not be dominating the play. I know Celtic had more possession, but Falkirk looked a really dangerous team. That had me worried, that game.
Yeah, of course. It was a hard watch, especially at Celtic Park. As you say, by hook or by crook, we get that 3 points over the line. And then we've got, you know, Tuesday night, Hearts going to St Mirren Park to play St Mirren, John. By the time we kick off against Aberdeen, we could be 9 points behind them again, John. So a wee sum up for you, buddy. Aberdeen against Celtic. Your wee final sum up, buddy.
I think we'll win it. I've got a feeling we'll win this one. It's easier said than done going up to Pittodrie when they're off form. We've seen it before. Teams off form turning us over. I had Dundee turning us over recently. They were a team off form. So it can happen, but I'm not looking at that. I'm looking at Celtic putting in a better performance than they did against Falkirk, because that was brutal. It was hard to watch. But no, I can only say good luck to Celtic. Hopefully we see a wee bit of the new players. I'd like to see that. That's all I can say really. Apart from the other thing was the Celtic club gone on fire, Xander. Did you see that news?
No, I didn't see that, John. Was that today? Did that happen? I've not first I've heard of that.
I seen a wee clip. I never read it. I just seen something about the Celtic club went on fire, and it showed you a picture, an aerial picture of the Celtic club on fire.
Somebody's went there with a drone and taken a video of it. I'll maybe pop along here and take a wee actual video round about the scene. I didn't know that, John. There you go.
Well, it was on the STV news. I don't like clicking on the STV news. That's why I never looked at it, because let me just quickly check that. Fire burns through Celtic supporters club and forces shopping centre to close. Oh, at Irvine. There's a Celtic supporters club in Irvine.
Right, okay.
So it was one in Irvine. It's not the old one on London Road. That's what I thought it was. But because I seen it was STV News, I never bothered clicking on it. But there you go. It was a Celtic supporters club in Irvine that burnt in. So hopefully they get that back up running. Need as many Celtic supporters clubs up running as possible. Another thing I wanted to say was wee song for Collins, top of the league, looking down on the Collins. There you go, Collins. You were saying eat my dust a couple of weeks ago. Well, can you see me now?
Yeah, hopefully everybody, there was nobody hurt in that fire, John. Oh, clearly, and you say they get their business up and running again as quick as possible. Yeah, Collins still behind you there, John. I think it's a race between you two, to be honest with you. And you said Roseanne got it right, did you say, John?
Aye, Roseanne got it right as well. Roseanne's now on 12 points. Collins on 15. I'm on 18. Flying at the top. I says I would be happy finishing on 18 at the start of the season. If I finish on 18 points, I'll be happy. I says, now that I've got that 18 points, am I getting a bit greedy? I think I could go in and win this, Sander.
Yeah, there's plenty more points to play for there, John. And it's good to see Roseanne back in winning ways, getting our 3 points as well, with the mad Scotsman getting his 3 points, and James, he's back on the board as well. So hopefully we can start getting some more regular results. I feel like, John, the results have been normally see for Celtic, your 3-0s, your 4-0s, you know, and the domestic game anyway.
Aye, is James on 12 points as well? I'm sure he is. Maybe 9 points, I'm not really too sure, but James is doing okay as well. Aye, so James, I think James has won a few prizes in the past.
Yeah, we better catching up to do though, James. He knows that himself. But it's good.
He's praying to catch me, and he's under his wishing he was as good as me.
All right,
Don't worry, James. I can't win it anyway. But you've got a good chance of catching Collins. He was bragging the other week, wasn't he? Try to showboat and all that because he was on 15 points.
Yeah,
small potatoes.
15 points is a great return, to be honest with you, John, and he's still there right behind you, but you're flying, to be fair to you, so well done getting all the correct scores, John. Brilliant. Right, we'll leave it there, John. That's enough for the day. No time for any comments, but they will return, John. They will return as soon as we've got that wee bit more time. We'll get some comments read out again. Looking forward to that, actually, because the feedback for the comments is quite good. But no time the day, John. Good luck to Celtic on Wednesday night against Aberdeen. Good luck to all the new lads as well at the club. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, share with your pals, tell everybody how brilliant we are, and we'll catch you on Friday, John.
We'll catch you Friday, Xander. Hail.
Yeah, buddy. Catch you later.